Hello, this is the Starseed vlog for March 22nd, 2012, and today is my brother's birthday, so happy birthday, Ward. I love you, and I hope that you have a great day. It's been a while since I posted any vlogs, and I'm sorry. I'm always apologizing for that, but something I found out since spring arrived a couple days ago was that I'd been hibernating for the winter, and I didn't know that I was hibernating until I woke up. It had been a long time since I wintered in a place. Mostly I'd been standing in summer lands during the winter. So good and bad. It was fabulous to be in sleepy land, but also I got sleepy myself for an entire season, which can be pretty inconvenient if you're trying to get things done, which I was, but a lot did happen nonetheless. Some of the things that happened were various interviews and stuff, which I think I've posted most of, if not all of. But something really exciting that's been recent is I've partnered with my friend and colleague Kimberly Cochran, and we're creating a centered heart method of healing and gathering information, kind of similar to these vlogs, but she works more with the angelic realm. So we're kind of marrying the angelic and the ET realm, well, the beneficial ET realm, and coming up with some really fantastic things. We've put on a couple webinars now, which you can find at www.centeredheartholistics.com, and I'll put the link down below. And so we've done 2 webinars. They're each an hour, and we do them once a week. And also we're going to be posting podcasts and things like that. And also some little snippets of our webinars online, because that's more like a class. And our podcasts are going to be more just kind of general information and not so much diving into a topic and really dissecting it and seeing how to create things or whatever the topic tends to be that week. What else has been going on? That's really it. I mean, spring sprung a couple days ago, and it was so great to see everything bloom out of nowhere, and all these trees that have been bare for so long, and I forgot they could look like anything else because I came here in the fall, have now come to life and just been really vibrant and beautiful, and all these flowers out of nowhere, and all these bees buzzing around, which you might hear on the video, and yeah, it's just been great. But as for today's vlog, I'm going to talk about fear and camouflage, because as we're emerging right now in this new time, and this especially goes for all of you starseeds, but even people who aren't starseeds and who have maybe more elemental connection or shamanistic type connections, it's true for everybody, I think, who feels out of place. And almost all of us, especially those of us who are intuitive and energy workers, have felt out of place. Something just flew and I wanted to see what it was. But anyway. And the way it was explained to me as I confronted a lot of my fears this winter that I didn't even realize I had, was that I didn't always have them, and they weren't necessarily mine. Things that I found myself afraid of and I had never been afraid of before, like being in the woods alone, or I don't know, stupid, silly little things that I had never felt fear for before, and here they were up and in effect. And the last time that I remember not feeling fear for them was when I was a child. And so not only confronting the fears and working through the fears and finding out amazing things along the way, I'll admit, it's been really great. And I am going to write about it. I'm working on a new book. It's taking longer than normal, but I will trust that all is in its right time. Anyway, other than the gifts of the experiences, there's also been this understanding that's been both explained to me, and I've also just kind of gotten it in my cellular structure by now, that all fears aren't necessarily from something that happens to you. When put into a situation with other people, especially if you feel outcast and want to fit in, it's a natural human thing to do to take on other people's fears, because the closest way to bond is about something that both of you don't like. So even if a fear, which is the strongest form of dislike, even if it's a fear that you might not necessarily have yourself, what we do is take other people's fears and make them ours. And we don't pretend like they're ours, they actually are ours. And what that does is it changes the actual structure of your energetic body. It'll put a hole here and a dent there and a rip there, so that when you join with this other person or group of people who have a similar fear, like in a cultural belief or in a religious belief or whatever type thing that excludes and creates a group, when you then come to that group, they recognize you, not in any left brain kind of way, but in an intuitive, energetic way that makes them feel like you're one of them. And it's not purposeful, and no one does it on purpose. It's very natural, and it's part of the old paradigm way of doing things, of defining who you are through exclusion. And lucky for us, we happen to be alive right now when we don't have to do that anymore. And so now it's becoming more safe to come out and say, this is who I am, and no, I'm not afraid of that, and it's okay. And I don't have to be in order for us to be friends. And maybe we can learn from each other and not just learn about what to exclude out of our experience in our lives, but what beautiful things we can find together as part of our friendship and our partnership. So really owning who we are is coming up for a lot of people. A big fear is, well, if I really show who I am, then I'll lose those whom I love, or who love me, or who support me. Maybe they won't be supporting me anymore, or they won't love me anymore. And what happens time after time after time when people have done this, that I've seen, including myself, is that you take the step and you're scared, and usually you don't do it till you can't do anything else because it's either driving you nuts or you're in a situation where you have to realize that it's not yours and you have to come out. And not only do people not react the way you think they will, but that makes them love you more, because the authenticity stands for so much. So I don't really have a process for you to go through yet. Perhaps I will, and perhaps one will come, but more just a sense of mindfulness, which always happens, but also allowing your full self to kind of be in your body, and allowing yourself to, when a fear does arise, say, well, is this something I'm actually afraid of, and what's the worst that could happen, and what would happen if the worst that could happen happened? And what usually is found when you go into that worst case scenario space is, if the worst happens, then I'll deal with it. And the worst hardly ever does happen. So it's a very emancipating thing to do. So just try to do that and see what happens. And as far as things coming up, I'm working on a new book that I'll be announcing very soon as I get to work on it. I mean, it's really weird. It's been this starting and stopping process. Usually they just pour out of me when they're ready, but this one's been coming in layers, which is new for me. And also some other fun projects. Centered Heart Holistics is definitely one. And we are going to be doing sessions there. I'm not doing individual sessions anymore. Now I'm working with Kim on all the sessions I do. And we'll also be offering workshops and classes and seminars. So stay tuned for that if you care to come. But as for right now, there are a couple free webinar courses up on our website that you can go look at. And other than that, just enjoy the spring. It's so beautiful, and the air is so soft and lovely, and summer's coming. So since spring is such a beautiful, fleeting thing, externally and internally, let's take it and ride it and get the growth that we can, and really focus on what you want to manifest in your life and what you would like to experience, and allow it to grow like all these beautiful little flower seeds popping up. Anyway, if you have any questions, let me know. I'm around. I'm not online as much as I was, but I'm around a lot of the time. And much love to you. Go in peace and have a great week.